Hello Retromovie fans, I am Retromoviegirl and I'm here again back today with you all for a review of Night Secrets by Cherry Adair. This book is from the Night trilogy. It's the same trilogy that I've read before. When I edit this video, I'll put a card up in the left or the right corner, not exactly sure where it's going to appear, but I'll put a card up there so that you can see the last review, which I believe was Night Secrets by Cherry Adair. Anyway, this is a book about wizards. It's adult paranormal, and in this one, Lucas Fox he works for a paranormal agency called T-Flack, and what T-Flack does is that they investigate paranormal events, paranormal terrorism. I know it sounds weird, but bear with me here. And what Lucas is doing in this book is he's looking for someone called Iskar. Iskar is a person, a wizard, a very bad wizard who's going around doing very bad terroristic things, and his powers on the fritz. And he meets this girl named Sydney McBride, who is a washed-up journalist. After writing a book, she kind of pulled, how you want to say this, a James Frey, because she used her brother, who is schizophrenic and mentally ill, and wrote the book in the first person. So now nobody wants to touch her, but she found a publisher who's willing to work with her, and she's writing a book called Skin Deep, which means she has to go to this medispa and interview all of these celebrities and about the pitfalls and privileges of plastic surgery. In the next part of this video, I will be telling you all about Lucas and Sydney's relationship, so I'll see you on the other side for the next clip. Hello, I'm back with the next part, Sydney and Lucas' relationship. When Sydney and Lucas first meet, the story takes place in Rio, and Sydney is at the medispa. She lives in one of the bungalows where people, after they get plastic surgery, that's where they stay, and so they don't have to travel far for their checkups and stuff. But one night, she notices a lot of hoopla, a lot of things going on. She looks out the window, she sees all these police and army people, and she's like, what the hell is going on? And she notices a man appears in her room. He's completely stark naked as the day he was born, and he's like, shut up, tell them they're coming, tell them I'm your boyfriend. Don't say anything else. Tell them I'm your boyfriend. And she finds it extremely weird and extremely odd. But there's this scene which I'll talk about in my favorite scenes. But they seem to really like each other and really hate each other. They play off of each other, but eventually, you know, she tells him the whole deal about her brother and lying and making it seem like it was her story instead of her brother's. Like I said, it's kind of like a James Frey thing that she pulled, so she has to deal with the fallout of that, and she has to avoid her mounting and growing attraction for Lucas. So in the next clip, I'll tell you all about my favorite scene, and I'll see you for the next clip. Okay. The next part of this clip is my favorite scene. It's when, there are actually a couple of favorite scenes, so let me just go through them right quick. There's a scene where he's been shot, he's unconscious, and Sydney has to make sure he stays awake, and she performs a bit of what you would call, she tries to remove the bullet from his shoulder because he's woozy and weak from the bullet, and he says, when did you do that? Or when did you become a doctor while I was asleep? And she goes, oh yeah, pre-med. And then there's this other scene when they decided to pretend to be fiancés to get access to the 3rd floor of the medispa because something not too kosher is going on the 3rd floor of the medispa. You'll have to read the book to find out. I'm not going to tell you, but they have to pretend to be fiancés in order to get in there. They come up with this really wacky idea, and the whole time she gets this big ring. I don't even know where it came from. She gets this big ring, and it materializes out of nowhere because, as you may or may not know, Lucas is a wizard, and he's able to make things reappear, or he has empathetic experiences, or he can manipulate people's minds, and he causes this big ring to appear. And they have this whole conversation where it says, if you could make this ring appear, why couldn't you put yourself on some pants? Because remember, he's stark naked, and she says to him, why couldn't you make some pants for yourself if you could make this big ass ring appear? Which is exactly what she says. This big ass ring, you could make it appear, but you can't make some pants for yourself, which I think is really hilarious. And there are other scenes like that too, but that happens to be one of my favorite scenes. And I'm gonna just do this right quick as a pre-mention. I'm gonna be reading the last book in the series, which is Night Shadows, which is the 3rd and final book in the series, and I will be reading it as soon as I finish and I put up this review. I will be reading that. So that's it for this video, and I'll talk to you in my next review. All right, bye.